Hey guys, this is John from Lost and Found Classics, and I'm super stoked today because I get to explore D&H Classics Salvage Yard here in Stonewall, Oklahoma. If you're not familiar with D&H, they've been featured on channels like Puddin's Fad Shop and others, and these guys are great guys. The cool thing about this yard is just about everything that you're going to see today is for sale. So if you see something that catches your eye as we're exploring the yard, give them a call and say, hey, I saw that video on Lost and Found Classics. Tell me about that car at this minute mark, and they'll be able to get you some prices. Let's go check out this yard. I'm super stoked today to be able to do this, and I'm grateful that you're here sharing the experience with me here at Lost and Found Classics. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's get at it. Okay, guys, check out this awesome 1958 two-door Buick Electra. This thing is super sweet. It's actually pretty solid for the year. You don't see too many of these out there. Really neat piece, nice quarters, really nice doors, good fenders, lots of savable pieces here, lots of rare trim in the front, and what a cool piece. Like you just don't really see these cars very often at all, even at car shows anymore. You got those classic 50s style fins all in here. This was all the rage back in the 50s, these huge fins. Pretty common for your Cadillacs and your Chevys, as well as, you know, your Buicks and Pontiacs. This was the style back then, and what an absolute beautiful car. Let's move on and see what else is out here. Check this out. This 1955 Chevy, although this car has a post over here on the side, which you can see here on the side of the car, you would think that this is just a typical 210 or a 110 car. However, this actually is a Bel Air, and we know that by the trim code here, which is a 551011D on the code itself. So, contrary to what some people actually believe, you could get the Bel Air trim on a non-post car as well as a post car. So just because you see a post and you see Bel Air trim doesn't mean it's not really a Bel Air. The Bel Air was a trim package that was available on all of those cars, 55 to 57. And here's a really cool piece that you just see, another two-door post Bel Air 55. Kind of makes you think of that like American Graffiti feel. So really neat car. Let's keep looking along and see what else we can find. So as we're walking through, again, we're going to see all kinds of different stuff that's for sale. One of the things I do know is I believe that this early GMC Jimmy Blazer here is going to go for sale, or is for sale right now. This is a pretty cool early piece. It is a four-wheel drive V8 truck. Now these things have really gone up in value through the years. Really solid. You can see all in the quarter panels here. Very nice truck. It is the custom, and it's absolutely beautiful. Let's keep walking. Let's see what else that we can find in the yard. Pretty cool. Like, they got a really nice selection of like El Caminos. So here's your G-body El Caminos, your 80s El Caminos. This thing actually has some pretty sweet patina on it. And check out that orange stripe down the side. It's actually a pretty solid car. Really nice piece. This thing here, it's a bench seat car, but I mean, like, look at the bed. Look at how solid, because this is a southern vehicle. You really get that feel of how solid the beds are. Now, if this car was up north, this car would be absolutely rotten. So this is a really cool piece, a really neat piece. And again, you know, your bottom of your hood isn't all rotten out. Really cool car. This Chrysler, this thing is super slick. I mean, look at in these wheel wells. I mean, if this was up north, again, this car would be completely rotten in here. This four-door is super cool. That interior, man, here, let me see the camera real quick. Check this out. Check out this interior. Look at how plush that interior is on this thing. I mean, this thing is absolutely drop dead gorgeous on this Chrysler New Yorker. Take that back, check it out. We got some Impalas back there still that we're gonna get to. Now these are cool. You don't see too many of these. International Harvester crew cab. So check this thing out with the crew cab doors. I mean, it's not a two-door, it's a four-door crew cab, which you don't really see too many of. Additionally, look in the bed of this thing. I know I keep mentioning the beds, but check out the bed of this thing. I mean, it is absolutely rock solid. And then usually these are all banged up and messed up from people working in them. Same thing with the wheel wells. This thing's super solid, really nice, really good roof on it. Again, when do you see when do you ever see a crew cab International Harvester, let alone an International Harvester at all? And if that wasn't enough, here's a crew cab short bed. So, I mean, it's pretty wild. I can't tell you how much I want to build this thing, drop this thing on the ground, and get this thing on some air ride with some nice size wheels and tires, just like it sits. Because I mean, when do you ever see an International Harvester, let alone it's a short bed International Harvester? And you can tell, so if you look at the difference between the two, you can see on this one, you can see how wide that wheelbase is compared to how wide the wheelbase is on this one here. Really cool. This is actually a super cool truck. I don't know what they want for it, but if it was in my budget, it'd be in my driveway. These are cool pieces. I actually had a 73 Charger that was a W23 code, so I think it was WH23 code, which was a special edition SE 440 car with the sunroof. You can actually watch that video on the channel. You can go look that up on the Lost and Found. There's a little link up on the top there where you can search for Charger. But these are really neat. So you've got your 71 to 73 Charger body styles. There are some differences between the 71, 72, and 73s. But like some of these parts, especially on the 73s, they don't reproduce the fenders. And you can see how clean the fenders are on this car. It does have bucket seats in it. Is it a console car? No, there's no console. It's automatic on the column, but there is the bucket seats are in the car. This is an SE as well. And then it's got your halo roof on it, which is kind of cool too. So this little thing here, this would have been vinyl from here forward, which would have been considered, I believe it was what was called your halo roof. Really cool car, man. My goodness. Check out, and the hideaway headlights. Like you can't, nothing screams 60s and 70s quite like hideaway headlights. So these bad boys, they flip up like that. I don't want to damage any of the vacuum pods, but you could just kind of feel them. So these will flip up with a little flip of a switch. They were vacuum operated. And man, again, nothing screams 60s and 70s muscle car quite like hideaway headlights. Ford had them, Mopar had them, they all had them. GM had them in the RS Camaros, super cool stuff. Here's another one. You can see the difference. If you get a shot from back here, you can see, like this is a non-hideaway headlight car, and that's a hideaway headlight car. So you can see the variance between what was available between 71, 72, 73. You can see those lower valances and just kind of how there was different options available on these cars. But I mean, I'm actually pretty stoked at these quarter panels. Look at how clean these quarter panels are on this car. Look at that. So like all in here, again, if this was in the Rust Belt, if this was an Ohio car or something like that, I mean, I wouldn't be able to put my hand under here because it'd be so rusted. That's rock solid. Absolutely rock solid under there. And you can see, even though both of these look like the same year car, and one has hideaway headlights and one doesn't, you can actually tell, look, same taillight panel, just different options. A couple of cool pieces over here. This Buick, that's a really cool car too, that Buick Special. Another Buick Special here. Look at the trim on this thing. So Buick was known for what was called portholes. So they kind of stole the idea from the ship era or the industrial era, like when ships and wars and flight and space industry and all that kind of stuff was well, space industry would have been more in the 60s, but in the 50s it was like wartime, Marines, a lot of planes and ships kind of integrated a lot of their designs into the car industry. This is what's called a porthole here on the side. So they ended up with these portholes here, and this became a staple of Buick throughout the years. Even till today, you can still find some of the newer Buicks still have exported and imported those to the newer styles. But I mean, look at this trim, man. Like even here, that big 50s stainless trim, just like you get that look of that stainless. I mean, nothing says 50s quite like these big old pieces of stainless trim on the side. Nothing said status back then, like a car with tons of trim, especially a big, massive hooded Buick like this thing. So again, guys, keep in mind, everything here pretty much is for sale. So if you see something that you like, say something. You ever heard that saying? It says, if you see something, say something. This is a little bit different, but still the same. Anyway, check out this Cadillac, this 70s Caddy. These are really cool. I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is a front wheel drive model. Let me double check because I could be wrong. Oh, let's look. Let me take a peek. It is. So this would have been the early Cadillac front wheel drive cars. Man, these things are cool. You kind of see like these are often in like your mobster movies, you know, your Sopranos and all those kind of films. You always see the mobsters always driving these big old Cadillacs. And the reason why is because of this back here. Not only could you fit, you know, Louie and Donnie and all the guys in here to, you know, head on down to Leo's and get a pizza, but if your cousin Vinny got out of line, you know, or one of the other guys got out of line, you know, you had this big trunk where you could transport them and kind of help them get in line if you were in that scene. You know what I mean? Galaxy over there. Let's spin around and take a look at what's going on. There's a 69 Chevelle tucked away back over here that we're going to look at. A bunch of Ford trucks. There's a big window, like 58, 59 Ford truck. That's super cool. And then you got your 50s. You got your 50s Bel Airs here, your 52, 53-ish Bel Air sitting here, two-door post car. Your 66, 67 Impalas here. These are really cool cars. Long time ago, I would say probably back in like the early 2000s-ish, these cars really weren't bringing a lot of money. They actually didn't, a lot of people didn't have interest in these Impalas. What made the car kind of become a little bit more famous was there's a show called Supernatural, and they drive, I believe it's a 66 or a 67 four-door Impala in that show, and that's kind of brought the Impala forward. And that's kind of how this industry ends up always working for whatever reason. Like, people always end up being attached to the car that was associated with their childhood or their favorite movie. So your 67 fastback Mustangs, because of Gone in 60 Seconds and Tokyo Drift and those types of things, those cars have become very popular. And that's the same thing with your DeLoreans and, you know, your Firebirds with Knight Rider, your 55 Chevy and your Roadsters for American Graffiti. Lots of cool stuff like that. But there's a two-door Impala, there's another two-door Impala, and then he's got this row of Internationals back here, man. So I mean, like, look, there's another early 60s crew cab International, which you see there. Some of these things actually have prices on them. I don't know if the number that is currently on the vehicle is what they're asking for the vehicle. So you just want to double check that. But like this International, this crew cab International over here, like he's got $4,300 on it. I mean, what a smoking deal. Where are you going to find a clean 60s crew cab International for that kind of money these days? Really cool stuff. This Impala, check out this one. Get down, this one's air conditioning super sport car. So check this out. Check this out here. So here's a super sport Impala, and you can tell, let's see if we can get to the other side. Check out the interior. This is pretty cool. So super sport Impala, if you get, there's your bucket seats, and then there's your center console, right? There's your super sport center console right there. So pretty cool real super sport car. And what's neat is you can see your air compressor here. So here's your air compressor and then your box. So this is an air conditioning car. So this is a bucket seat console super sport two-door AC car, and it's a non-post car. So basically by non-post, what I mean is all of this here all rolls down, and all that's nice and open for you there. So pretty cool super sport car, really neat piece. Let's keep walking down this way, and oh man, check out this 50s truck. Early 50s Ford, and then you got like your 55, 56 Chevy pickup. Man, that is a really cool shot of that thing just sitting in the grass like that. And then these were neat. Actually, I had a cousin in New York that had one of these. This is an early Volkswagen. So this is an early Volkswagen, and they made these fiberglass dune body buggies, and they just put them on top of the Volkswagen pans. So these are actually pretty cool. And this is an early Volkswagen. This is an early Volkswagen, and you can tell because the bolt pattern is the wide 5 is what they call it. So it's wide. So I think this would have been like mid 60s and below, 66, 67, I want to say ish, and below. So that's actually an early frame underneath of that. Pretty cool. Let's keep going. Oh man, what do we got down here? Wow, that's a Hudson. That's super cool. You can see these used to have a really nice logo down in there. That would have been really nice when it was new. This is your Hudson. I don't know what model Hudson this is, but if you're familiar with the movie Cars, if you've ever seen that animated film that was created, this would have been like similar to Doc Hudson, which was the Hudson Hornet, the early race cars. So pretty cool car, 4-door, big, long, sleek lines. I mean, these things just look super cool when they're nice and straight. Oh, man, there's just so many cool things. These early ships. Remember I was telling you before, early on, I was talking about how a lot of the 50s, you know, 40s and 50s cars, they had a lot of ship and ward designs and things like that in them. Nothing more so than all these awesome hood ornaments, such as this big ship right here. Check out the boat on the front of that thing. Really neat. Super cool. Same thing over here on this Oldsmobile. You can see the rocket, you can see the plane. You see the plane, they get your wings here, and then it would have had these really nice, like here's this, looks like ember kind of color, green kind of color, emerald kind of color, excuse me, like this emerald piece here, really neat. And then you got your trim all the way down the hood, and this thing's cool, it still has the visor on there as well, but this would have been, man, peak of the day back then. Nice 2-door Chevy. Look at that 1938 license plate. Check that out. That's a 1938 Oklahoma license plate. Still on the front of this thing. And it's a 2-door Master 85. Man, this thing's cool. This is really neat. This is what's called a humpback. So you can see back here, this is where businessmen would have put their luggage. Or like back in the day, they would have been selling, you know, vacuums and things like that. So what they did was they extended, the car normally swooped down, but what they did was they extended all of this so that your businessmen could travel door to door back then, and they would be able to fit all their vacuums and all their stuff in here. Same thing with the one behind you. This one as well, same thing. You got your humpback over here, your business coupe, where you could put all your stuff that you were selling door to door. And that thing's cool, check that out in there. That's really awesome. Everything was so simple back then. Keep on going. Another Chevy, another Chevy. Check this out. Remember I was telling you earlier that, you know, there's certain cars that they just appeal to us, and the reason why they appeal to us is because of the movies that they were associated with or the TV programs. I mean, nothing screams 80s quite like your Trans Am, your black and gold Trans Am. This would have been similar to your Smokey and the Bandit. And you've got your snowflake wheels. You got your snowflake wheels down in here. Man, you got your Hearst T-tops. So you got your T-tops, cruising down the street, listening to your 80s hair metal. You got your fender ports. Check these guys out. And to make it even cooler, if you get under here, you can see the shaker hood. And it's an air conditioning car, so your shaker hood. So what would happen is when the hood was closed, this shaker would stick up through the hood, and then when the engine would rev, it would shake. This was actually something Ford originated, and then all the other manufacturers copied. So Ford came out with the Ram Air shaker hood, and in '69 was the first option on the Mustang and the Torino. And then all the other manufacturers copied that all the way up into, again, the late 70s, early 80s on these. And I love shakers. I got a place in my heart for them. So check it out. There's a couple of Ford trucks over here. This is something that's really neat. So this body style on the opposite side, the blue one in the background, is the same body style as this one. However, there's some minute differences, and the differences matter because they determine the value of the truck. If you look at the back window on this one, this is considered, so this is like a 57, 58, 59. If you look at the back window on this one, you see how it's small. So you can see how small that back window is. If you scoot over to this one here, same truck, back over this way, you can see the difference. In this one, the window wraps all the way around. So this is what's considered a big back window. These are actually much more rare, much more desirable, obviously, because you get a lot more of a full view. And this is a short bed truck. Both of these are short bed trucks. These are both really good projects. In fact, this is pretty cool. You can tell this thing was drug out of somewhere. A tree growing up, look, growing up through the fender. Man, that thing is super cool. So, really neat on the Ford. Ah, wow. I don't remember how many of these were made, but I know they didn't make a lot of them. 90s Dakota convertible. So this is a factory. This is not an aftermarket edition. This is not something that somebody later added. This was actually something that Dodge made, the Dakota convertible, and they're just really neat. And they actually started a crave in the mini trucking world, especially in the early 90s and 2000s, where guys started making all their trucks convertibles as well. That trend didn't last very long because they always leaked. They always had problems, and you can kind of see this seat. You kind of see how ratty and nasty the interior is from it leaking. But still, what an absolute neat piece. I didn't expect. You just never know what you're going to run into. Like, okay, here's another one. Here's a 68. Here's a 68 Chevelle. Now, technically, you see the badging that says Malibu. What makes the Malibu and the Chevelle different, right? So, guys are going to debate this with me, and that's totally fine. You're welcome to do that. But your early Malibus usually were not your sport top or your hard top. Your early Malibus usually had a post right here. What made them into Chevelles and what became more of the Chevelle package would have been that these windows completely roll down and the post is totally gone. So this is what's considered a Malibu with a Chevelle option. So I've owned a couple of these in the past, and they were Malibu Chevelles, and it all depended on the title, what you would typically call the car, but I always called them Chevelles if they didn't have a post. Pretty cool car. This is a 307 V8 car with AC. So you got your small block 307 and factory AC car. Really neat piece. Trim tag still in there. Pretty cool car. You see those laying around. And then you've got your Biscayne behind me. These were cool. I really like the early 60s Impalas and the Biscaynes and the Bel Airs. This is very similar in the field. So some people would say this and go, oh, that's an Impala. Well, the way that you can tell if something's an Impala or not is there's a couple of different body markers. But again, this post right here would not be here if this car was an actual Impala. So your Bel Airs and your Biscaynes had a post, your Impalas did not, as well as if you go to the back of the car, your Bel Airs and your Biscaynes and Biscaynes only have 2 lights on one side. Your Impalas actually have 3 lights. So your Impalas actually have a backup light back here too. And that's how you can identify an Impala from the backside if you can't see the post. There's also some different trim for the Impala as well, which made it an Impala package. But I mean, if you're looking for parts for an Impala or you're looking for parts for a Biscayne, some of the glass is interchangeable, the chassis is interchangeable. I mean, this thing looks like it's got a really good frame on it, and it's a cool piece, so really neat. Oh, let's keep walking. Oh, there's another one. So back here we got another Chevelle. Looks like a 69. Let's go back to that. Ooh. That's a hurting one right there. That bad boy got smacked right on the front end. So it's a 136 car. It's not Not a factory super sport car, but still kind of neat. And there's some old bicycles in here. Look at that, some old ape hangers sitting in the front. Cool. And then we got some Brookwood wagons. These are cool. This is a really good one right here. Look at this guy. This one looks like it's actually very savable. This one too. Look at the body mounts. Look at how clean those body mounts on this thing. I mean, really nice bodies. The roof's really good. The gutters look really nice. It's not collapsed up into the roof lines. Same thing on this one over here. You can see up in the lines and up in the gutters, it's not rotten. And then if you look down in here, in the window channel itself, typically there's rust and everything else inside of there, but you're not seeing any of that. Again, these guys get some really, really nice stuff. So let's transition. Let's go to the back. There's a lot more stuff out back, so let's keep going. Check out this Mopar sitting here. This thing's super solid, two-door car, really nice piece. Looks to me like it might be a coronet. Not 100% sure. Mopars are not my specialty, but you can see the bulge in the hood here. It looks like it's a 383, let's see, RH23 code car up on the dash there. So yeah, it looks like it's a 68, 69 Coronet. Super cool car. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I know my Chevys and Fords much better than my Mopar stuff, but this is a really solid piece. The doors are really nice. Car's got the interior. Looks like it's still sitting inside of there. A pretty cool car, but there's a whole bunch of stuff back here that we're just gonna start walking and see what we can find. Really neat LTD. Nothing super fancy, super cool about this thing. It's just an older car, but most likely, yeah, looks like it's got a 429 or a 460 sitting inside of there. So there is a big block in it, which is kind of cool. But let's scoot on down this way. Let's head on down here, see what we can find. Some more Buicks. More Buicks, another Dodge sitting over here. What do we got sitting over there? Yeah, more stuff sitting over there. We'll go back. Oh, check out this hearse. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Man, look at the size of this thing. It must weigh a ton. I mean, big stretched middle section, plenty of room in the back. Obviously, man, this thing, look at the rollers. If you can see it, I don't know. Let me see if I can open up the door. The rollers, kind of creepy, but the rollers are still on the floor. If you can see it there, the rollers are still on the floor for the coffins down over there. Ew. Kind of creepy, right? But what a neat piece. You don't really see those too often. More Buicks. Remember I was telling you earlier on the Buicks, you remember the porthole feel. So here's a LeSabre. You can see how they kind of went to that square rectangle, excuse me, that rectangle shaped porthole on the side of the fender there. Kind of cool. Big old LeSabre emblem on here. Really neat piece. You get those early big old headlights in there. Nice big heavy steel. So like when somebody ran into you back then, you felt it in the seat of your pants, that's for sure. So let's keep going. Look at this Caddy. Oh my goodness. Look at the fins on this Cadillac. Ah, that is so cool. Look at that nice 50s fins. Like this is like peak Cadillac right here, man. This is so cool. Look at all the trim. You can get in there. Look at all the trim on that dash. All that trim down there, and then you had your little heat vent down there on the floor. That's what Cadillac was really known for. Cadillac was known for all this trim and all this elegance. It was a status symbol, just like it still is today. But that's what made Cadillac And that's what really made Cadillac Cadillac. It was just so flashy and in your face back then. Such a super cool car. Here's another one. Looks like, I think this is 55, 56, if I remember correctly, Cadillac. There's the, yeah, so this would have had right here, this would have had a hidden gas door right here. It would have flipped open. It would have flipped open. And then here's your fuel neck. This is locked. Somebody put a lock on it. People siphoning out fuel back in the day. But I mean, this thing is just super cool. I actually had a 56 Cadillac convertible at one point in time. And just a super cool car. I mean, just the sheer size of the thing is massive. I mean, the land yacht that this thing actually is incredible. And then you've got this really cool four-door New Yorker behind you. And this thing, again, you've got your same feel. If you come down here, you got all this trim down the side. You got this huge, huge chrome and gold-plated stuff all over the place, which really made them stand out. And then this massive tail fin. Look at this thing. This massive tail fin back here. Check out these taillights. I mean, look at these things. These things are absolutely beautiful. Still got a lot of good trim here on this car that would work on a two-door car. But there's still a lot of stuff here that you could save and salvage for somebody looking for parts. So really cool. Man, look at that fin. It's just massive. Absolutely massive. Look at the old roof rack. Look at that old school roof rack sitting on the top of that thing. Looks like it came off of something else. Another Cadillac sitting over here. And then you got your 54, 55, 56 Fairlanes or Victoria. Looks like a Victoria. Sitting here, super cool cars. Bugs everywhere. Another Caddy. Another DeVille. Look at that fin coming down. Early 60s Cadillac. Coming all the way through. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Look at that little steel car body sitting in the trunk. Man. This is wild. You never know. Like, there's so much of stuff all back there. There's still all kinds of more stuff. We're gonna keep walking around, see what else we can find. This two-door here, this is class. This is style. This thing would look great with some white walls. Even with this finish like this patina finish, you can really see just, I mean, you can get a feel for the size of this thing. The length of this quarter panel is huge. And these are such beautiful looking cars, especially when they're all laid out flat, slick, and black. They're just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous Cadillacs. Two-door Lincoln. Super cool piece. More Lincolns. So here's your four-door Lincoln. This is cool. This was pretty common, 60s feel. Here's your Lincoln with your suicide door. So this is your factory rear. Your door latch would have been in the front. Factory rear door latch. Power windows back then. Power windows in these cars. Really neat. Again, super nice car when they're all laid out and they're all nice and slick and black. Just super cool stuff. Lots of Cadillacs here. These guys really like the Cadillacs. There's some more hearses back there. And let's comb through here. See what we can find back here before we move forward. Oh. This poor car. This would be a Biscayne or a Bel Air or an Impala. Looks like it's probably a Biscayne or a Bel Air. I remember what I said earlier. You're going to know based on the taillights pretty easily on a four-door. They did make a four-door Impala, but if it's missing the emblem, what you can see is you can see the two taillights rather than the three taillights, which Impala would have. So pretty cool. And then there's that little micro car behind you. Check that out. Imagine that thing with like a GSXR 1000 motor in it. Imagine putting like a 1000cc or a 1300cc Hayabusa motor in this thing and just tearing up the streets and just doing donuts non-stop. This thing's cool. Little micro car. So that's definitely not the owner's manual. A comedy in 3 acts. They run in our family. Check it out. Don't know what that is. This thing's really clean, actually. Really nice floors and roof. Really cool piece. Ugh. Gutters are nice, man. There's just more stuff stacked back there. All right, let's take a look through here. Let's head this way. It's just piled back there, buddy. Oh, more Cadillacs. Probably more Cadillacs than anybody could ever need. That's cool. Look at the trim and the fins on that. I think that's an Imperial. What is this? I don't know. Super cool. Super cool. Like a 59. There's another one next to it. Man, these things are sweet. Look at the trim. Let's see what else we got over here. Another big one. Look at that. I mean, look at the bullets right on the front. I mean, look at the size. Look at my hand. Look at my hand in comparison to the size of this thing. This old bullets. Imagine this thing hitting your back bumper in your little Ford Ranger. I mean, just like absolutely shredding through it, you know? Like imagine the brakes go out on something like this behind you and you're going downhill. That is a scary thought. This thing is huge. 60 special, real cool patina. Really neat color too. I like this turquoise color. It's a beautiful color. And here you go. Like I want to know in this situation, I want to know what happened to the car in front of this. I want to know what that car looks like. Because ow, I mean, there's so much sheet metal here to be twisted around. I mean, goodness, what did it feel like to get hit by one of these cars back then? Absolutely insane. What a beautiful color too. Looks like it's a factory pink colored car. Can't tell. That looks like it's pink. Man, that's a shame. Imagine this thing in a two-door, a pink two-door, totally decked out and trimmed out. Absolutely gorgeous cars. I mean, these were pieces of art. These weren't just cars. These were pieces of art when they were designing these things. How cool is that? Okay, well, listen, there's some more stuff in the back. Ready? Let's go back there. So let's keep walking. Check out this 390 Galaxy. Looks like that was originally a big block car, two-door Galaxy 500. Pretty cool piece. But there's some more stuff back here. This is an oddball. C-top car. Oh, okay. G-body. Nice two-door Regal for your G-body guys out there. There's a nice two-door Regal body. It actually doesn't look too bad. Cutlass. Got smacked in the front end. You see this guy, somebody already robbed the seats out of it. Somebody already robbed the seats out of the Cutlass Supreme. But still, two-door body, clean car. And then your Le Mans, this is cool. So your Le Mans is what Pontiac used to build the GTO off of. So this is your stripped down base model non-GTO GTO is what you can kind of call it. But this is your Le Mans, your bench seat two-door car. Pretty cool piece. This was a 350 car. If you want to jump in there, you can see if you can get any closer shots. Maybe it'll open. No? All right. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's keep on rolling. Infinity, you know, like it keeps on going. Actually, here's a Buick back here. Couple of Buick Skylarks back here. You can see one two-door. See this green two-door tucked away over here, and then you got another green two-door tucked away over here. Check these guys out. Another Chrysler Imperial. These are cool. That's a cool piece. Check out the front end on this thing. This thing's really neat. Then you got 1, 2, 3 sitting over there. Two-door cars, pretty cool. And for whatever reason, we got another hearse again as well. Let's scoot around, see if we can get a better shot of. Looked like there were some Blazers and stuff over here. What in the world? Someone built a stretched Chrysler K car. I don't know who did that or why, but okay. Here we go. There it is. The good stuff. Look at that, 57 Chevy. This 57, this is a non-post car, so we know it's a factory Bel Air. The other way that we know that this is a factory Bel Air car is by the trim. The Bel Air had a spear. You can see it on that side. See that spear over there? That long spear. The non-Bel Airs actually had a tiny little short spear. So your 210, your 110, 210 non-Bel Air cars had a short little spear right there. This thing should have, it's still there, it does. This thing still has a VC code on it. So if you look at that VC code right on there, that VC tells us that the car is a factory Bel Air car. Lots of good trim left on this car. This is a really good piece. Man, there's some really good stuff still left on this car. All this trim here, all this here is unique to Bel Air and Bel Air only. Same thing in here. All of these pieces are all unique to Bel Air. So really cool trim pieces, stuff that can be saved and kept. When you come around the front, what's really cool about your 57s, I love these cars. They had that flat bullet on the front. They got rid of that spear that was previously there. These are super, super cool. And then it still has the trim tag on the firewall, and you can see that trim tag sitting there. I wonder on this side, oh yeah, check this out. Look, 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 look. Oh, this is so cool. Check it out. Look, look, look. It still says, so it still has the Bel Air fin. So this is like the iconic, this fin here, it's like the iconic molding for the 57, and then this spear going all the way across the top. I mean, just absolutely gorgeous cars. I've had the pleasure of restoring several of these cars for customers in the past. I love the body lines of these cars. I love the trunk lids. I just love the 55 to 57 Chevy so much. And as you can tell, like, I'm super stoked just to see this car because, again, I just see all the fun little intricacies. I love sanding down the side of them. And then you got this beautiful fin here. I mean, what an absolute cool piece to find just kind of laying around out here at D&H. So here's one of the other cool things about the 57 Bel Air, and the Bel Air specifically, is this little flip up guy right here. You see that little flipper? That flipper? So when the window went up, it would go up and then it would seal like that. So when the door opened, you see that? It would flip up and lock. And then when it closed, it would flip down and seal. Another cool way to identify a real Bel Air, because otherwise it would have a post here and it wouldn't have no need for the flipper. So let's check out the rest of this stuff. There's a bunch of cool old farm trucks just laying around. It's just really neat. I mean, like, imagine sticking one of these things in your front yard. I'm sure your neighbors will love it. But we got all kinds of brush and stuff here. Let's take it easy. There you go. So check this one out back here. We got like a 71, 72 Chevelle sitting over here. Here's a crispy critter, but it's pretty cool. Looks like it experienced a fire at some point in time, maybe. It's hard to tell, but you can see all that nasty stuff going on. Definitely looks like a fire. The box is all melted down. It's all pretty crispy under here. But still a two-door Chevelle. That's pretty cool. Keep walking around. I just buzzed my ear. That wasn't fun. All right, let's head to the back here. Come back. That's cool. Check out this Star Chief sitting over here. Massive Star Chief. These things you can see all the way back there. You can see that the bump go all the way back to the corner. Let's see if we can get back there a little bit. You don't normally see these things laying around. Look at these big old stars on the quarter panels. These big old guys right in here, and then you can see these big taillights. I mean, they were just massive cars in the back way back when. Really neat piece. And then another Cadillac sitting over here. Another, looks like that's like a limo Cadillac. That's a Fleetwood. Look how big that thing is. Again, another land yacht. Got that extra import. That's a cool piece. Some trophies in here, in case you need to feel special. And then there's a 69 Chevelle, another one sitting over here. Let's see if that's a super sport car. So vinyl top right off the bat, before I even look at any numbers. Vinyl top, you can see the trim there. Typical issues with the Chevelles. The windows rot, and then they're trash. And then this, it's a 136 VIN number car. So unfortunately, it may or may not be a super sport, only because looks like it's a 69 is what it is, not a 68. In 69, a 136 car could be a super sport car, but guaranteed up to 68, and before 68, the 138 VINs were guaranteed super sport cars, regardless if the drivetrain was there or not. In 69, the 136 cars could be a super sport car, but you wouldn't know unless it actually had the original numbers matching drivetrain in it. So unfortunately, we don't really know for sure. I know that they posted a super sport car at some point in time within the last few weeks. Maybe they sold it. I don't know. Let's keep checking it out. This thing's cool. Look at the roof line on this thing. This Oldsmobile. That thing is sweet looking. And then we got one more big one over here I wanted to really take a peek at. Here's some more G-bodies. You know, you got your Cutlasses, you got your Regals sitting back over here. Again, these cars are really becoming popular because of the Grand Nationals, especially that Regal body, that G-body back there. Well, let's go take a look at this guy over here. This Sportsman. Look at this Plymouth Fury Sportsman. This is a two-door Plymouth Fury. If you're familiar with Stephen King's movie Christine, a very similar car. It was just very similar to this specific model. But look at the two-door in this thing. The doors are really clean. Look at the fin. I mean, look at the size. Look at the size of this fin in comparison to my head. I mean, just absolutely beautiful cars. Absolutely incredible. Man, this is a cool car. This thing would look really good, all slicked out. Really nice paint and body work done, all the trim polished. I mean, again, this car was a work of art when it came out. It wasn't just a vehicle, it was a work of art. And man, I'd love to see somebody save this. I wish I could actually save it. I got too many things going on, but really cool car, really neat piece. Nice patina, awesome. So you remember I was telling you earlier that Bel Air was just a trim package, could have came on any kind of body style. Well, here is a 4-door Bel Air, and I've actually had people argue with me whether or not you could get a Bel Air and a 4-door, but actually here you go. Here's a great example of a 1957 4-door Bel Air, and you can see here how it has the Bel Air trim on the side in the 4-door. It has the full roll down windows, remember, because we don't have a post, so it's got the full roll down windows, and then it's got the full length spear right across that back over there, so you can see that full length spear coming across. So if I could open the driver's side door of this car and read the VIN, which unfortunately I can't, you would see similar codes for the Bel Air, and it does have the Bel Air trim on the dash. You can see this aluminum trim right here on the dash, which is your Bel Air trim, and then you can see your other Bel Air fin, your 4-door Bel Air fin right here, which you can see because it's cut down that section there, unique to Bel Air. So again, a little bit of a lesson there on the Bel Airs for 55, 56, 57. Bel Air was a trim package that could be ordered on any of the body styles, including the Nomad. So, pretty cool, huh? Let's keep going. If what we've already viewed isn't enough, there is just stuff everywhere here that I didn't even get with the drone. Check it out. I mean, there's this stuff stuffed back here. Wow. Oh my goodness. There's a T-Bird sitting here. There's another T-Bird sitting there. A C10 sitting over there. There's a 4-door 58 or 59 Fairlane wagon sitting over here. Man, let's keep walking through. This is crazy. There's more stuff. Oh, look at that. There's like a, looks like a 58 Ranchero. I like those cars a lot. 240s, 280s, Z cars. Don't forget the Volkswagen. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool, man. That is so cool. It looks like it's a 58, excuse me. Looks like it's a 58 Ranchero. You can see the 57, 58 tail on it. That thing is so cool. I just really like those cars. And there's more stuff sitting over there. There's another C10. Let's see if we can make it through. See if we can make it through here, because there's something convertible over here. Let's see if we can make it through the obstacle course. Watch out the Carmen Ghia. There's probably an easier way to do this. Oh, look at the Porsche, dude. Wow. There's Porsche sitting back here. I think this is an anniversary edition. Wow. That's cool. Look, it's still got the louvers on it. That thing's still got the louvers on it. Bet you those louvers are worth a couple bucks. Some Z-Guide disc brakes. Here's a turbo Z. Yeah. There's a turbo Z. Woo! Look at these guys, man. Man, I could totally be wrong, but I think this is one of the anniversary cars. I think this is the anniversary paint scheme. I just wish I could find a badge to verify that. 280ZX Turbo. So it's a turbo, but it doesn't say anniversary anywhere. Oh, that's a turbo car. How cool is that? But it's a turbo car. Oh. And there's two of them, not just one. Man. It's a 2-door Cherokee Chief. Check out the 2-door Chief. Those things were like tanks. Man. No way. Dude. Look at what's in the back.
Peaches.
Peaches! Get out of here!
Peaches has a twin.
No way! So it's not like it's rare enough that you find one peach-colored Courier that I brought home. Look at that! That's crazy. The peach truck that I brought home, the peach Courier, there's actually 2 of them out there. That's insane. I had no idea. Man, that's super cool. I mean, there's just Datsuns and Couriers all over the place. Another C10 tucked away back here. C10 dually. C30, excuse me, C30, because it's a dually. There's a Galaxy sitting over here. That's super cool. Probably had a big block FE motor in it at one point in time. That's why it's missing. Somebody probably yanked the big block out of it. Trim and the headlights are gone. Bumper's still a good piece. That bumper's still worth some good money. That's actually a good piece right there. All right, let's keep going. Oh, just more and more stuff. 3rd gen Camaro. It's 3rd gen Camaro, non-T-top, not a Z28 or anything like that. It's not an IROC, but still disc brake. Still 3rd gen. Early Jeep, early CJ. Spider web. Factory installed spider webs back here. I feel like there's more back there, but we can't see it. Let's keep going. Couple Camaros. That's cool. Another 3rd gen Camaro sitting here. It's like a V8 swapped car. Finally a 2-door Caddy. There's a 2-door Caddy sitting back here. It's like a 2-door 55 or 56. And that's sweet. Wow. Here's another one. A panel. Another T-Bird. Man. Monte Carlo. Got the 2-door Monte Carlo sitting over here. This guy here. Looks like somebody built it at some point in time. There's another 57 Chevy tucked away. Back over here looks like a 4-door car. Kind of hard to see. I wonder if I can get back over here. Oh, it's a 2-door. Looks like it's a 110 or a 210. Non-Bel Air. Non-Bel Air. It's got the short molding that goes here rather than the long molding. It does not have the Bel Air trim fins on it, but it's still a 2-door. No trunk. Cool piece. Cool piece. Really neat stuff. Lots more back over there. And then we found all the Mustangs, it looks like. So you've got your 65, 66 Mustangs sitting in here. So this would be a 6-cylinder car. The way that we would know that this is a 6-cylinder car without looking at the VIN number is there's 4 lugs, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the axles. So all of your 6-cylinder cars on your 64.5 to later Mustangs, all your 4-cylinder cars, or excuse me, all your 6-cylinder cars are going to be 4 lug. All your V8 cars, factory V8 cars, are going to be 5 lug. So you can kind of look around. This is like a 69 or a 70 coupe. Nothing super special. There's another 6-cylinder car. This is a 5-cylinder car here, or this is an 8-cylinder car here. This is a V8 car here. The VIN number is gone. That's a T code. There's no... That's a C code car. 8R01C. So this was a 289 2-barrel car then, originally. And then back there's another Monte Carlo back over here, sitting over there. That looks like a 2-wheel drive Blazer, actually. That's kind of cool, with the orange door. Lots of cool stuff. And here's another 57. Here's another 4-door 57. You can tell it was a Bel Air because, again, here's your holes for your long spears all the way through and through. And let's see if the spears are still in these. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, let's check this out. So here's your quarter panel moldings. I was just looking to see if any of the spears were here. That's just the door moldings. So looks like the spears are gone. Somebody got the spears off of it. However, there's this pretty cool 71 Torino wagon over here. That's a pretty neat piece. Looks like it's got the regular standard grille, but it was the same grille that was used on the Cobras. So pretty cool car. Let's take a look at that real quick. It's a shame somebody broke the grille on this Cobra, or on this Torino, because you can see it's actually got the nicer grille in it with the headlight bezels. The Cobra grills would have been blacked out. They wouldn't have been gray like that. But still, what a cool car. Fenders aren't in terrible condition. Yeah, fenders are in great shape. These would be great fenders for somebody looking to restore a Torino, or a 7071 Torino, or a Fairlane. Some more Cadillacs and other stuff. There's a Hudson sitting here, or Tucker, excuse me, there's a Tucker sitting here. Pretty cool. That's a V8 2-door Impala. Wow, that's a shame. Wow. Now this one here, this is a sad story. So you see those flags right there on the fender? That denotes that this was originally a V8 car, and it's a non-post, so we know it's an Impala. Here's your Impala emblem here. The Impala emblem would have been right in there. Here's your Impala molding, and then back here, there's those 3 taillights. Remember I was telling you, if it's an Impala, it's going to have 3 lights rather than the 2 lights. So this is a real Impala. This is a real 2-door Impala. Doesn't look like a Super Sport, but it is a real 2-door Impala. And wow, what a shame. That's funny. It says nuclear accidents. Huh. All right, well, let's take a walk that way. Go ahead and shut it down.
Got it.
So check out this Galaxy 500 over here. And nice 2-door, really big car. It's not an XL 500. If it was an XL 500, it would have bucket seats and a console, but it's a bench seat car. But really nice patina, really nice slant back car. And then there's a couple of other 2-door cars back here if you want to get these over here, as well as it looks like they're hiding this cherry right here. Look at, here we go. Look at the purple 59 El Camino. This thing is awesome. I love the X-frame cars, the El Caminos. Really neat piece sitting out here. You can see all of that. So there's no badge on here for the flags. So it's probably originally a 6-cylinder car, but a good portion of the trim is there. And cool car. Really neat piece. Looks like 3-speed on the column. Got a lot of cool stuff sitting around in here. Man. So how fun is that? And then you got this fastback Rambler too. Very cool. Guys, what an absolute blast today at D&H Classics. I am so honored that they would allow me to come here, open up their doors, and let me walk through their entire yard and film everything for them. We need to give them a thanks, guys. Would you go to their Facebook page, give it a like, give them a call, say, hey guys, is there anything that I can do to help you guys out or keep you going? And if you see something here that you like that was in the yard as I was exploring, give them a call and ask them how much it is. Let's give them some business and help them stay alive. The classic car salvage yards like this are going out of business left and right, and cars are getting crushed all the time. These guys are saving stuff, and we want to support that as much as possible, as well as support me by like, sharing, and subscribing this specific video and the YouTube channel. That tells me that I'm not wasting my time. It shows me that there's people out there that still care about these cars, and they want to keep these cars alive and well, just like I do. And by you doing that, it helps me, it helps the Facebook and the YouTube algorithm, and it tells me, hey, I'm not wasting my time doing this, and this way I can actually make some income from this. Otherwise, I got to go back into my shop and work and do stuff sweaty all the time, rather than being here and having fun and sharing this exciting stuff with you guys and allowing you to come on this fun adventure. So like, share, and subscribe. Join the adventure here at Lost and Found Classics, and don't forget to leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you again. Bless you guys.